Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video, and Veve has put out their community update video. This is a quick recap giving you my thoughts about what it was all about, and they are entering now in a new era with new branding, solidifying their actual, their tagline and their focus, giving themselves the direction that they need to take this app forward. I'm going to talk about this in just a sec and give you my perspective as a graphic designer who's been working in that industry for over 20 years. That's what my job is outside of like doing these videos. And I've done a ton of branding projects, and I really think that I have some really good thoughts for you about what this means. So if you do like this video, make sure you hit like. It's a quick recap. I'll go over everything else they talked about in their video. And then, of course, I will put the link to the video in the description here of this video so you can go watch the whole thing. I always say I highly recommend you go watch Veve's entire community update. It is fantastic. Mitch is in there. Alex and Dave and Dan, they're all in there, and they're talking about amazing things. So let's get into this, you guys. Comment down below, too, and let me know what you think. Anyway, here is the new logo, and you can see I actually put it at the top, too. Now, I just grabbed this from their Twitter page. But you can see it is a heart. And this is really interesting what they did with this, collectors at heart. So let's talk about the branding a little bit, because like a lot of people don't know, that's my background. I'm a certified designer up here in Canada. Used to be the president of the Graphic Designers of Canada for my region. So this is my career, my job. So I've done a ton of branding projects. And I just want you to know that this logo design is really nicely done. It incorporates three things that they wanted to do, which they talk about in the video. The heart, which is the love of collecting. A shield sort of aspect, which is kind of, talking about being secure, and having this a secure platform. And that's what they're working on. I'll talk about that in the update just shortly here, because they talk a lot about security. And also it is a V-shaped heart. So you have three kind of things going on there with Veve as well. New colors and everything that are a little bit brighter, a little bit more eye attracting. And if you look at their Twitter page, you'll see there's a green in there. And I'd love to see the full color palette, because some of those colors they've chosen, I'd like to see the more reasoning as to why. Because when you do a whole branding platform, it's really just a matter of like colors, taglines, positioning, and how they use these different aspects in different ways, like on socials and stuff like that. This heart logo is very nicely designed for socials and for Web3, so that's really great. But the tagline, collectors at heart, is the biggest thing right here. It's the love of collecting, and this is where they want to attract new members coming with this kind of tagline, this kind of thing, not flipping, not crypto, it's collecting. And I think this is a really interesting direction for Veve. And it's a direction that I actually really approve of. As a user, I really like this, and I know that this logo is going to get more and more love from me over time, as it's a bit of a shock because I'm so used to the original logo and the original colors. And I really have grown to be quite fond of them, but this is something that I think is really going to do well. Having that brand platform to base all of your decisions upon and to all of your messaging around is super key to any company. And I'm super happy that they actually have done this now. And now they can move forward and actually have a real direction for their company. That is key to branding, everybody. Now let's get on to the actual recap. So search, they talked about that. It's in phase 1. It's complete. What they talked about here is that they're going to keep improving. They're never done with the search aspect. There's phase 2 or phase 3 and all this kind of stuff. They'll always be improving on this as the community needs it, right? So that's an interesting thing that they talked about. Another one they talked about was momentum. Now, this was a big kind of thing that Mitch brought up in the video. And like I said, go watch the whole thing, okay? The link's in the description of this video. Now, they talked about momentum, and what they have now, they feel internally, is momentum, which means they're actually moving forward and doing things, and they have an order of like how they're attacking stuff and what they're going after and what they're building upon. And it's momentum, and they've really picked up steam behind the scenes, and they wanted to communicate that to the community here to let us know that they're not just sitting around. I mean, they are actually doing things in order here, and with the priorities that they're putting out. And this is really good for the company. So I like to hear that. Now, the merge account thing, this is another quick recap they put out. So, the article's now out, and they're just working on final checks and stuff like that, for then deployment. Okay. So, and there's going to be a couple things that happen with that, a 4-account limit, and you'll have to apply to have accounts merged, and they'll look at each one. There's going to be patience required in this, once you're going through the merge account process, but it is now coming out very shortly. The main article is out. They didn't say exactly when this is going to launch because they're just doing final checks, but it should be imminent anytime now for sure, right? So just stay tuned for that. They also talked about Master Collector. Now, this is next on the slate for them. They're really working in order. Mitch talked about things in order. I'll tell you what's coming up after this, especially if you watch the vid, but it's slightly delayed. Okay. I mean, the whole thing, what they're trying to do is make it nice and secure, and then it's done correctly because there's a lot of numbers to do here. I think the crypto, payout issue kind of like set them back a little bit, in terms of like working on this. This is supposed to come out a little bit earlier, as we all know, but they're just actually working on it. And this is what they said. I'm just relaying to you what they told me, what they told the rest of us, that they were just working on it because it's a really complicated issue right here. Retroactive points and rankings will be phase one. You'll be able to hit a calculate button on your profile, be able to show how many points you have. It might take time for that button to actually work because it's really complicated, but it's just slightly delayed, but they're still working on it. And this is their main priority, they said, for sure. And then the next one that's following MCP, is this waitlist drop system. So it looks like we're going to go exclusively to a waitlist drop, no more of the current system at some point, which is, it's really exciting to do the way it is now, but they really want to focus on fairness. And this is what they were talking about, making it super fair for everybody, no matter what region you're in, because, people have had issues, depending on where they live and not being able to get in line, and certain areas seem to get more drops than others. So you basically are going to be joining a waitlist about 30 minutes before a drop. Okay. And then 5 minutes before the waitlist closes. So whoever's in there is in there. And then what happens is it just randomly chooses winners. Okay. So it's a fair system. They call it a fair democratic system, which is interesting, but it's a fair system, so everybody has a chance. You just join the waitlist. Now, my only question is, will there be limitations to how many people could be on the waitlist? I hope they don't do that for sure, but it's just going to be fair. They're going to randomly choose it. And if that happens for also on the blind boxes, right? You don't know which one you're going to get. It'll just randomly assign you one. But when they have drops that don't have a blind box, you will be able to join each individual version's waitlist. So if there's a secret rare you wanted to go after on one, these are the drops that aren't blind boxes. You can join that waitlist or another waitlist. You'll have to choose. So it's really interesting. So that's what this following MCP. So they're working on these in order, apparently. So the wire payout thing, this is the next thing they talk about. It's back, and the crypto pay-in is back in the beta format here. So they're working on that. They're still working on the security aspect of this. They really said that they had the main focus of making sure that the system is, free of fraud as much as they can do. Bot protection, fraud protection, and the development of it is all done. Now they're just making it secure. So it's not like they're still working on how to do it. They're just securing things and really just trying to make sure that it's right for when they put it out. So that's coming up in a bit after as well. No timeline date on that one yet either, but this is the order of what they're doing it in, right? So it's security. That's the main thing that Mitch was really saying right there for sure, right? Now, the Veve.me website, they said they're going to be actually, using that site more. How they use all these articles on Medium for when they have drops. Well, the Veve.me website's going to have more of that. They're going to have a resource type stuff there, because right now there's not much going on there, so they really want to kind of probably move away from Medium and put all their stuff there, which includes new videos that they're going to be doing, about explaining the drops and stuff like that, and history behind some of these comics they're coming out. They're going to do videos like that as well, and they're going to have it mostly here. I'm not sure when they're going to start using the site more, but that's what they were talking about as well. And also, they're focused in 2023 on new users, so making it easy to add users and accounts. So what they were talking about in this particular section was the KYC process. You come in as a new user, you have to KYC right away, hand over your passport. But they want to avoid that so they can get people into the app, and they only want you to be able to KYC and stuff when you have to pay out or sell in the market, but be able to get in and enjoy the stuff and maybe buy some stuff and actually, set up and play around. They want you to be able to do that without having to KYC like crazy at first, because they feel like it's a bit of a barrier. So they want to remove some of those barriers. So that's a really good sign. And then once you get further down the line, like if you're going to be selling and you're going to be cashing out, you have to KYC then, of course, right? That's sort of what they're doing. So they're really focused on new users. And with the new users, they're actually going to be focused on targeted marketing this year, they said in this community update. They're really not going to be blasting it out to the whole world. They're going to focus on very specific targets. So, digital marketing, right? And the branding goes all with that. So they had the branding done. Now that's out. Now they have their messaging and all that kind of stuff that they can use. Now they're going to target specific groups. Like, for example, Disney, or example, they kind of sort of mentioned that. Like, they're going to target that specific fandom, as opposed to going all over. And they had to have the branding in place to do it. So it completely makes sense. If you're in, like the advertising business, or if you're in the design business, like I have been for the last 20 years, that is key to anybody's marketing and, advertising and promotion. You have to have your brand platform solidified. And, I always wondered about that with them, but now it looks like they've got it with this Collectors at Heart tagline and all of their messaging. So they can really now feel comfortable about targeting, other, like, as the year goes on right here. So they'll have competitions and giveaways and new video content, and they're going to do more stuff on Discord. So this is all part of the marketing right here, which is a really good sign for all of us that have been here for a long time. And then they said they're going to have Rambo, who's coming, which is really cool. So they're going to have Lambo and Rambo. Alex said that. It was quite funny, right? So they're going to have, so Rambo, expect Rambo to come at some point, the character. That's really cool. It's another 80s character. That's the action hero that they talked about, that we didn't know if they were going to talk about, well, what hero that was going to be. I mean, I remember Alex said it'd be hard to guess it. So it's Rambo. So that we'll see how that comes out for sure. Anyway, they also said more collabs. This is David Yu was talking now about more collabs with different companies and stuff, more high quality collectibles. They referenced the, the RoboCop. They want to do things at that level. So that's really great. And phygital. So that's like a combination of physical and digital drops, that kind of thing in Q2 and beyond. They're going to be working on that. So 2023 is going to bring a lot of stuff like that. And they also kept referencing the marketing, the market that we currently have and the demand, and not overdoing drops with too many numbers and stuff like that. So very, very good. But the one thing that I did get out of that is I did get a snippet of this no large brands yet, because they're still working on this other stuff and they don't want to introduce like a big brand, while they have all this stuff in the works. So that means to me, no Pokemon anytime soon. In my opinion, this is kind of what I got from that. You guys let me know what you think, because they have a lot of stuff they're still working on. They don't want to launch some big, massive IP in the middle of this before they have all this stuff in place. They want to get more people here first. So I don't think we're going to get Pokemon anytime soon, everybody. So the other thing they talked about, there's a lot in this community update, right? But this is a quick recap. They talked about withholding. So, when they do their drops and they hold some back and you don't know the mint numbers, they're going to actually give us more transparency on that for all of you Mint Hunter collectors. They're going to show which ones, that they're going to be holding back, I guess, and which ones are important and that kind of thing. More info in the Medium articles now about the drops. So we'll have a more idea of what we can go after, like how many they're taking and what the lowest mint number would be of a particular item then. So like if they had, like how many they're taking, so we'll know which one to go after if you want to be the lowest, mint number holder or search in the market. So this kind of stuff is just more info on those Medium articles. And then of course, those Medium articles should go over to vv.me for sure, right? So anyway, that is the community update recap video for you guys. I hope you like it. Here's the new brand. Go on and let Veve know what you think for sure. I really personally like this. It's going to grow on me, the heart. I think it's cool with the V, the heart, and the shield. I like those three aspects. That tells me that they actually went through a branding process, a proper one. And just so you guys know, like I'm a professional graphic designer, fully certified. This is my job. I don't talk about outside of Veve, but that's what I've been doing for 20 years. I've done a ton of branding. And this really looks like they actually went through that process with the tagline. And now they have that direction to base all their marketing off of. I think it's fantastic. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Go check out the full community update. I'll give you more thoughts as time goes on here. Happy collecting.